So why the whole world is focusing on the conflict between Iran and the United States, why most people are focusing on what is happening in the Middle East. Ukraine continue to give Russia woto woto. The war between Ukraine and Russia is still going on. And yesterday, the 26th of June 2026, Ukraine carried out one of the largest drone attack on Russia. Let me say Ukraine and NATO carried out one of the largest and most extensive drone attack on Russia. They targeted 12 territories belonging to Russia, including the territory of Crimea. And recently, I've told you that Ukraine and NATO have stepped up on their attacks against Russia. They have stepped up in the last few weeks and in the last few days. And things are not going well with Russia. I'm not biased in my analysis. I tell you exactly what is happening. And Ukraine and NATO have recently deployed these long-range drones that they continue to target Russia's oil refineries, their energy infrastructures. And this is why things have not been easy with Russia. So yesterday, the 26th of June 2026, they targeted 12 regions, including the Sea of, the Sea of Azov, and also the region of Crimea and other regions also. And the Russian military claim they shot down about 770 drones. 770. Can you imagine? If they are shooting down 770, how many did Ukraine and NATO launch into Russia? How many? They might probably launch about 1,000 or 1,500 or 2,000 because these drones attack carried out by Ukraine yesterday caused a lot of damages inside Russia. And this long-range operation carried out by Ukraine is what they have been doing recently. They have been targeting Russia's important infrastructures, their energy infrastructures, their oil refineries recently. And this is just one of the strategies that NATO and Zelensky are using to put pressure on Vladimir Putin to come to a negotiation table, because Vladimir Putin has vowed that he is not going to sit and negotiate with Zelensky. Zelensky already wrote a letter to him asking him if they can meet one-on-one and discuss how to end this conflict. And Vladimir Putin described it as being rude. And I believe that these recent attacks carried out by Ukraine and NATO is to put pressure, is to force Vladimir Putin to come to a negotiation with Ukraine. And despite these recent strikes on Russia, Vladimir Putin is just quiet. He's not saying anything. He claimed recently, in fact, he already declared war on NATO because, of course, you and me know that this war with Russia is between Russia and NATO. It's not between Russia and Ukraine. So Vladimir Putin already said Russia is at war with NATO, and NATO doesn't want to accept it, but they are still using Ukraine to carry out their strikes against Russia. They don't want to launch strikes on their own territories or from their own territories. They keep using Ukraine as an scapegoat to launch strikes on Russia. And things are not going well with Russia. I'm telling you, if you follow the recent strikes being carried out by Ukraine and NATO recently in the last few days and the last few weeks, you will know that they have upgraded, they have stepped up big time, and they have continually deployed these long range drones where they are constantly targeting Russia's important infrastructures, targeting the oil refineries. And I think it is high time for Vladimir Putin to negotiate. It is high time. How long is he going to continue experiencing these damages in Russia? How? For how long? Of course, from every indication, Donald Trump is not going to negotiate between Ukraine and Russia to end the conflict. Donald Trump is not going to act, or the United States is not going to act as a mediator to end the conflict, or NATO is not going to act as a mediator because the war is between Russia and NATO. Forget about the EU. And to tell you the truth, it has to be between Vladimir Putin and Zelensky. They have to negotiate to end because they keep destroying lives and properties every day. And they will spend billions, something they have already spent billions to build. They are destroying it. And Vladimir Putin should keep pride aside. They have failed recently. Russia have failed recently. I don't know what is the issue. Maybe they are exhausted. Fighting NATO for years is not easy. Fighting NATO for close to 5 or 6 years now is not easy. So I think Russia is getting exhausted, and Vladimir Putin should look for a way to negotiate to end this conflict. And we are still waiting for what Vladimir Putin is going to do, maybe to carry out retaliatory strikes on Ukraine. But it's not been going well with Russia recently. If you know what I'm talking about, I will tell you the way it is for you to judge. But what do you think? Don't you think it's a good idea for Vladimir Putin to accept the request that Zelensky sent to him by coming to see with him one-on-one to negotiate how to end this conflict? Waiting for Donald Trump will not yield any fruit. He will wait and wait in vain. Don't think about NATO. Don't think about the EU. What's your opinion? What do you think should be done to end this conflict between Russia and Ukraine that has been going on for about 5 years now? Let me know what you think about it in the comment section. And remember to like, comment, and share this video, and look out for my next update. God bless you.